what you got there. Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a part 2 using the NATASHA DENONA LILA palette. I already filmed not a first impressions because I already played with it before I filmed that video, but I did do a demo, swatch, and review video of the palette. If you want to see that, I will link it up above and down below. I wanted to come back on here and film myself applying the matte shades because my first video I primarily focused on the metallic shades, emphasizing how well they blended out without using a matte shade, but I feel like we still want to see how the matte shades work, so that's why I'm here today and demoing using those shades. If you want to see how I got my double strand twist, I'm not sure if that video will be up before this one or after this one, but it will be up. I will not leave you in the dark about how I accomplished my double strand twist set. They're still drying and I didn't want to, you know, disrupt them too much, so I just kind of wrapped them and just let them, you know, rest. Today we are using again the Lila palette, and I had to set my little under eye corner again because for some reason the concealer didn't stay on that part of my eye. I used ColourPop's concealer, which I actually like. If you want a more full-blown review, just let me know down below. I'll be more than happy to film one. I think I didn't put enough to my inner corner, so that's why I just reapplied and I set it with powder. But I am going to go in with more loose powder to apply under my eye for any fallouts. I played with one of the matte shades yesterday and it still had fallout because it is powdery, but they don't blend powdery on the skin. They blend really well, really smooth. It's just because they're so pigmented, you're just gonna experience a little bit of fallout. So this is just for security. I think I'm gonna start with the mauve shade. This is called Nude Mauve. Yes, Nude Mauve. I do have a full-on swatch portion in my first Lila palette video, but I'll tag it on to the end of this video so you don't have to jump to the other if you don't want to. Oh my heavens, I forgot to set my eyelid. Excuse me. I'm going to use the same ColourPop concealer I applied to my under eyes. This is in the shade Golden. Buff that out. And now I'll set that concealer with some loose powder. Any fluffy crease brush will do. This is a Morphe M502. I'm going to dip into Nude Mauve. And just so you can see the kickback in the pan. No, it's hard to tell, but there is the dust. But you know what? That doesn't matter. Let's see how it applies. Up there it is a very soft mauve shade, but it's there. I see it. You gotta really build it up. On my first video, I experienced how well the metallics blended on their own, but I also mentioned how some people are very much accustomed to applying transition shades first before going in with shimmers and metallics. That's up to you, but I wanted to still film myself applying the mattes first because if you're really just used to one way, one technique, I understand. And if your concern is with the palette, if the mattes are gonna look good on you or not, then this is why we're here. I like the shade, even though in the pan it looks gray, it applies rosy on the lid, which is very beautiful. And you can build up the intensity to what you want to see. I really love how this is blending. Very smooth, right into the skin. Doesn't look patchy. Excellent! Now with a more tapered crease brush, I want to go in with the deeper shade. I'm going to take a Morphe M505, so it's more tapered. It's going to get more precisely into that outer crease. And with that brush, we will apply Nude Vino. That's giving a really nice rosy gradient effect. This kind of reminds me also of Urban Decay's Naked 3 palette. It was supposed to be like the rosy hue palette. I feel like I wish that had more mattes like this shade, so it could give me like a dusty rose mauve type of eye look, because I love those colors too, but I thought they had so many shimmers in that palette that the 1 or 2 mattes that they had were just too gray. But these actually have like a rosy undertone to them. You know what I mean? Taking a clean, fluffy brush to buff out those edges. To deepen it even more, I'm going to go in with Amara, the deepest matte shade out of the entire palette. I like this shade, and actually I think I could go in with just Amara to my crease because I love the color of it. It's like a more red in tone in comparison to Nude Vino and Nude Mauve. I wish I could get this eye to look like this eye. That's all I want. That's all I want. I always have to go in with my finger just to kind of wipe off the top because every time I try my best to not blow it up so high, but it always just finds its way too high. I don't understand. This is the process. I'm telling you. Oh, but I love how this looks. It looks a lot better in person because I'm in front of my window, so it's pulling up more red, but in person it just gives a really nice rosy smoky look. Amara to my inner corner. Taking my fluffy brush again with some loose powder this time. Dust that off and just help clean up this eye. I think I want to use a color that's almost like the mattes that we have on already on here. Let me see. I think I want to use the duochrome shade. So I'm going to use Dragon Bite, which is this shade right here. Apply with my finger first, and then I want to apply with a brush using Max Fix Plus. I think I want to go in with Livid, this purple shade right here, but I want to use my shader brush. So I'm just taking a very small shader brush with Livid, and between the matte shade and Dragon Bite, I'm just going to place that right at that juncture. I love how Livid looks with Dragon Bite and with the matte shades. It's just this really nice deep lavender metallic color. That's pretty. With the same brush, I'm just going to flip it over with Dragon Bite, and then we will spritz with some Max Fix Plus. There we go. For my inner corner, I think I want to use, I think I used this yesterday, Helio. I'm gonna use Helio for the inner corner. Using my fingers a lot better. It gives it a lot more punch. I think in general with the metallic shades in this palette, and definitely maximize the metallic finish on these shades. Oh, I love Helio with Dragon Bite and Livid. I love it. Excuse me. And now I think it's safe to brush off the bake. I don't want to get my twisties dusty. And for my lower lash line, I'm going to combine Nude Vino and Amara. I'm just trying to find my small crease brush. And I'm using a Luxie 231 to make that happen. I like to really make it grungy and take it low. That's why I'm not using like a definer brush. Like I really want to smoke that lash line out. And then I'm taking Nude Mauve, which is the first shade we'd apply to our crease, to further smoke out Amara and Nude Vino. I just kind of want to deepen the outer crease and lower lash line, the corner of it, and just pull those together. I think I want to go in with Pure, this shade right here at the center. I'm going to take that with a pencil brush, hit it with some Max Fix Plus, and right to the center of my lower lash line. Nice. I think that gave it a little more brightness, a little more metallic sheen. To finish off, using Max Extended Play for my lower lashes. Little bit of blush. I'm gonna do Fenty Beauty Metal Moon with just a touch of Trophy Wife, just a touch. I'll first go in with a smaller brush in Metal Moon and then lightly tap in Trophy Wife. I'm sorry my nose has no foundation on it. I had to blow my nose a couple of times this morning. The seasons are changing, allergies are here. So it always like kills my soul when I have to do that because of like, oh my work. God. But I don't want to have a runny nose, so today I want to use my Pat McGrath 1995 from her Matte Trance line. And we're done. I hope this kind of helped give more perspective on how the mattes from the Lila palette work. I'm NC42 in MAC, but I'm still a little tan from summer, so I think we're still dealing with like the tan neutral range for those that are similar to me. For the most part though, I loved how they blended out, and I loved, even though nude mauve, this shade here, looks very gray in the pan, it applies rosy, which I appreciate because I love my tans and my browns, red browns, orange browns, but sometimes I love to accomplish smoky eyes with other hues. Rosy hues, pinky hues, yeah, even more taupey gray hues, I think, when they're the right shade. When I mentioned earlier using Naked 3 like a year ago, I felt that if you only have one transition color that is just gray, then yeah, the whole eye look is going to turn out gray. But for Natasha's mattes, they're rosy in nature. This is rosy. This takes on like a more deeper rose hue, and this is definitely more red. I didn't try this one because I'll swatch it for you quickly. This is definitely more lavender, and I think if I would have applied that one, it will turn out lavender gray, which I think will be fine if combined with the other matte shades, and it won't look dusty and drab, you know what I mean? Especially when combined with the metallic shades, these purple duochrome shades I really love. Just a reconfirmation of how happy I am with this palette. I go into more depth about how expensive it is and all those details in my first video, but just to say on here, I love this look and the other one I did in my first video. I will continue using this palette. I will also look to apply different combinations of mattes and metallics just to get the most out of this palette as much as I can. Again, let me know down below if you picked up the Lila palette, if you're thinking about it, if you've already been using it, what your favorite colors are. And if you still want another look using this palette, please let me know down below. I love playing around and experimenting with makeup, so that is no problem at all. And yes, I hope you like this video, and please, if you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another demo, get ready with me, chit chat, or tutorial. Thank you, friends, and I'll see you again soon.